Hi, I'm Bob.
And I'm Vincent for Bob's Movie Review.
And today we're going to review for a movie we just got finished watching called The Walk. This is from Robert Zemeckis and stars Joseph Gordon-Levitt. Takes place in the 70s when the World Trade Center... What tower was it? Because one was already completed.
It was the North Tower that was completed.
And so the South Tower, they were nearing completion. And but I guess actually the story takes place a little bit earlier than that.
Yeah.
I forget exactly. Was it his dad had taken him to a circus?
Yeah, I believe so.
And fell in love with the high wire act, and so he kind of wanted to do it. And eventually he ends up with Ben Kingsley.
Yeah, to kind of train him a little better.
And he doesn't want to train him, but he agrees if he pays him, he'll train him.
Yeah.
Because he's giving him all his family secrets, all his secrets he's learned over his entire life. So he basically teaches him more of the rigging and this kind of stuff, because he can already he already practiced the walking, but then his thing broke, and then he realized he needed to know how to do everything, the setup. So basically his goal is to walk across the Twin Towers, which is insane to say the least. And what did he do before that? There was one he tried to do over a lake, like a pond.
Oh yeah, that was his first big show back in France that he tried to do.
And he failed.
Yeah, he failed.
And so he decides he's gonna do something else, and it's do you remember the name of that building?
Oh, the building of Notre Dame, I think. Notre Dame, something like that.
I don't remember.
It's something like that.
But he does that, and it goes pretty well. So from here on, I found a few of the parts a little confusing, because they go to New York, and he's basically spying and getting all the information about deliveries, and just trying to get all the information he can. But then they're back in France again, and they don't actually say it, and you're just kind of confused on when they're in New York and when they're in France, if they're traveling back and forth, or what exactly is going on, because they don't ever really say this is France, this is USA. And maybe they just went back to France once. I don't know. It was hard to tell.
Yeah.
Because they had to go back and meet with Ben Kingsley's character and get some advice from him. So I'm not sure if they went back right away, because they built a model of the top of the towers, and then I couldn't figure out if they took that to France with them, or they were already in France when they built it. It was a little confusing at that part. Not that that's a real big complaint or anything, but I would have liked a little more clarity, because I was like, is he in the USA, or they went back to France, or what's going on? And neither of us really knew exactly
Wasn't sure
what was going on there. So then he's kind of still just trying to get the stuff ready, and I would say up to that part, though, really not a lot's going on in the movie.
Yeah, I didn't really get really hooked into the movie until you actually started walking across the towers.
Yeah, I was kind of questioning, not that I thought it was terrible, it's just nothing was going on, really.
Yeah. Until
that part. I was just kind of like, well, it's, hope this movie's going to get a little more interesting,
Yeah.
So then comes the day when they're actually going to do the walk. He has it all planned out, and I think even when we were watching it, we were kind of like, really? That's how it's going to happen? They have to get the wire across, and it's over 100 feet, right?
140 feet.
Yes. So their idea is to shoot an arrow. They're going to shoot an arrow with a bow across with fishing line, and then I when I saw it, because they show them actually do it, and I assumed that was the clip of them actually doing it, but it's more like a clip of in their mind of how it's going to work, because the arrow comes down and just goes right into the cement, and I'm like, seriously? It just went into the cement, no problem. But later you find out that was just the vision they had, not actually them doing it. So they got to do that, and then they got to get all the wires across, and then they got to put support wires in, And of course, nothing goes right. It's like everything goes wrong the entire time. And so I felt like, that from there on, really, I mean, the movie got really interesting and really good, and it was really enjoyable. When he does finally get on the high wire, spoiler alert, as if that was a spoiler, I don't know. They do this amazing job of making you feel like you're really up there.
Yeah.
I kind of got butterflies in my stomach a few times. They keep doing this thing where they pan over the roof, and you're looking down a million miles down there. It's all the little tiny ant cars. You can't even see people.
Yeah, I know. I'm terrified of heights, and I was just the whole time he was stepping on the wire. But oh man, it's crazy.
Yeah. So, I think I really enjoyed this one. Once it finally got going into the good stuff, it is kind of long. I think a little over 2 hours.
Yeah.
Or I should know this. Can't find it. I'm pretty sure it's about 2 hours. Anyways, and so the setup was a little long. I understand they needed it. So don't get discouraged early in this movie. What did you think?
I thought it was a good movie. Like I said, I wasn't really on the edge of my seat until the final, I'd say the third act, when he actually started setting up across the towers and he started walking across them. Because it's almost like a heist movie kind of at that point, because he's scoping out the truck deliveries and schedules, because they have to get all their equipment up to the 110th floor. And I thought that was pretty cool how they kind of worked all that out. And it was pretty intriguing.
He has all the different disguises.
Yeah,
and it is kind of like a heist.
It's almost like a heist movie.
He's trying to blend in, and one guy catches him. And
I thought it was pretty cool. The one thing I wasn't sure if he did or not, but Ben Kingsley had told him when the wires are set up, make sure you check both sides yourself.
He didn't. He
didn't do that.
He ran out of time, and he was like, "Well, it's all or nothing. Go for broke."
Yeah. And this is a true story, but this obviously did actually happen. So it kind of takes some of the suspense off of it, but not really, because like we both said, the movie does a good job of making you feel like you are on that high wire with them. So it was pretty cool.
Well, I didn't know the story. I'm sure most people don't know the story. But I felt what really took away a lot of the suspense of what was going to happen was they actually have Joseph Gordon-Levitt standing on the Statue of Liberty, talking about what happened.
Yeah,
so you're like, well, he doesn't fall and die because he's talking about it. So
yeah, he's essentially staring into the camera and breaking the fourth wall and talking to you, the audience, and telling you what's going on and giving you backstory and stuff, which kind of took me out of the experience a little bit here and there.
Okay, well, we forgot to mention this. The first time you hear him talk in his French accent, it's so disorienting, and you're like, no, this is terrible.
It takes you a little bit.
It grew on me, though.
Yeah.
It definitely grew on me. But at first, I was like, oh my god, I can't even watch this movie.
Because it's calming music at first, and then he's just like, hello, and it's just French, right in your face, and it's like, oh, that's weird. Yeah, but you get used to it.
All right, so I think a score on this one, I'm going to give it a 7 out of 10.
Yeah, I'm going to... I think I'm going to have to give it 6 out of 10, actually.
All right. So still pretty good ratings.
Yeah.
I think we both enjoyed it. It's definitely worth checking out if you guys haven't already. If you guys have, we would love to hear your guys' thoughts in the comment section below. But thank you for watching this review. If you enjoyed it, be sure to give it a thumbs up. If you haven't already, subscribe for more videos. And we'll see you guys next time.
Thanks.
If you're interested, be sure to subscribe on YouTube, follow on Facebook, follow on Twitter, and follow on Instagram.